check, check.
Check, check.
Shout out to all my barber, shout out to all my stylists. We your Beards N Baldheads, your host Fat Lace. The flyest guy on earth. He's still in heaven right now. You know, flossing on him. That's how fly. You got wings that take you there. But he be here in a second. True live. Mr. Aggie Pride himself. Cousin D in the building. Yeah. Get your clap. Get your clap. Round of applause when Mr. Aggie Pride is in the building. Shout out to the Soul Survivor Barry not here. Shout out to T. We got a special guest. And I gotta make sure I turn his music down. Shout out to Soup. Soup said, when you announce this man's name, you better not have any instrumentals, anything that's gonna hinder the hearance of the people. I got my main man, I got my brother, my favorite author, my favorite poet, and one of my closest guys on earth, Mr. Lawrence Pierre, L. Pierre in the building.
Peace, 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 peace.
What's the claps? Turn it down. Oh, turn it down. Let's get the claps. Yes. Sorry for the delay. We here. Shout out to my brother. Thank you for having you again.
Thank you for having me.
Fresh off the double Volume 1 and Volume 2 Adventures of Noun and Verbs. Just dropped. Let's show the people what you got right there. Let's see the butters.
This is part 1, The Adventures of Noun and Verb. And this is part 2.
Beautiful.
So these are my first 2 children's books that I wrote last year and this year, 2020 and 2021. And so far so good. More to come, you know. This is actually my 5th project.
Your 5th project. We're going to get to all that. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Congratulations.
And they are available on Amazon.
Tell them where to get that.
Amazon or lawpublishing.com. You can DM me. Well, Law Publishing on Instagram. And you can DM me, or we about to have another pop-up coming soon. We just had a pop-up last Friday. I sold out, so I have no physical copies, but go to Amazon, type in The Adventures of Noun and Verb, Lawrence Pierre, and it'll come right up. You know?
Beautiful. We're going to get to that. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. I was there on Friday.
Yeah.
I was there for a while.
Yeah.
For those who might have missed the first time that you've been on, this is 3rd time. It's the only person who's been on here. No, it's been other people. This is the only LPA that's been here for the 3rd time. Blessing us. Author.
Word.
Y'all.
Word.
We gonna get out of this hoster mode. We gonna get in arm mode.
Word.
When it comes to someone who inspired me before this journey right here, straight up and down, it came from a big influence. Came from this book right here, and it came from you.
Yeah.
Facts, Fiction, and Feces. This was your first project.
2016.
2016.
Yeah. That was I wanted to make that particular book compared to like you know, a lot of times when you speak to people, they say like, oh yeah, I used to write poetry, but I stopped. So Facts, Fiction, and Feces is pretty much like your notebook from high school or your notebook from college when you used to just write down your thoughts, your pain, or your love letters, or whatever it was. And as far as the title, I figure it's 3 things in life. You have your facts, you have your fiction, and your feces, aka the bullshit. So you're dealing with all 3 dynamics of life. And this particular book deals with everything from a creative standpoint, dealing with those 3 topics, you know?
And this was, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, I don't know if I can use that. This was my type Bible. And when I say Bible, meaning just special words, special verses that hit home. That hit home for me. And I remember when you dropped it, I'm like, yo, I gotta get in my bag. I gotta get in my bag. I gotta believe in myself more. I gotta get back to this quote right here. And it's Dr. King Day. And before we salute, matter of fact, we gotta get back to it because black people might just hate us if we don't big up to Dr. King in the beginning. So let's give a big shout out to my barbers and stylists and Dr. King in that chair.
Word, salute.
Big salute. So this King quote right here from Basquiat. This was that influence that was in you from the beginning. Cousin D, can you read this right here?
It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Basquiat.
It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not.
Who you think you're not.
Yes.
You know that you were bigger. Just like we all have a dream, and I mean to be all pun intended with the Dr. King with it. But we knew we had this feeling like, yo, we are something bigger than just the average person that you see.
Yes.
This was in you before you dropped it. How does this quote relate to this time when you dropped your first project right here with the Fact, Fiction, and Feasties?
I mean, I always
Fly's guy in the building.
I always been writing ever since I was young. It's the way I deal with my pain, my emotions, and I just have a passion for words. I have a passion for learning. I have a passion for reading. And before 2016 when I published the book, it was just basically all the journeys that I went through previously, beforehand, from everything from having a child, my college years, just different various situations that I went through, and just observations of the world. And I just kept writing it down, and I was like, might as well come out with a book.
When did that process start? Or was it from all the accumulation, like the Illmatic? It just from that high school time, was it? Did you lock in? What time did you lock in? Because it dropped.
I think
2016.
around the time when we was both working at the same spot.
Yeah.
Back in 07, 08, I remember we used to build all the time, and I'd be like, yo, I'm going to come out with a book.
Let me give them the backstory, half of it. They're not going to get the whole truth. Y'all don't deserve the whole truth.
It's outside of statute of limitations, right?
Nah, yeah, it is, but everybody don't deserve the whole truth. But part of it, we sitting down one day.
Yeah.
It was a ill situation, let's say that. I ain't going to say an ill situation. It was a change in life. Everything changes, like in 2021, the whole world done changed. Yeah. But you changed your world with your mental state. We sitting down at a conference. Let's say a conference. And you say to me yo, this is what's going to happen. People think they're going to front on me. I'm about to come out with my own book and watch what's going to happen. It came out about 8 years later.
Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah.
But you did it. A lot of people capping, a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
You made it happen.
Self-published too.
Self-published.
I had reached out. I remember when I first started, I wanted to see if I could get some, at the end of the day, when you love what you do, yeah, you do it for the love, but who doesn't want to be compensated with the love? You need money to live in the world. So I'm like, all right, let me reach out to different publishing houses, and they was offering 2 cents, 5 cents per book. And I'm like, man, let me just wear this and put this on my shoulder. Amazon pretty much, they don't own anything, but that's the platform for how I could put it out. So they're the ones that, you get your barcode. And also, I won't get into the logistics of it, but it was the best option for me. I own everything. Can't nobody sue me. I could sue you if you use any of my lyrics or if you use any of my images. Same thing with the children's books. These are all my characters. And, my whole thing was the reason why I chose animals was because I didn't want to get into a racial thing. I didn't want to get into, you know, dealing with people. And I felt like when you use animals, you can reach people from all walks of life, from everywhere. And kids are more receptive to animals. And plus, like, who doesn't like love a stuffed bear or loves, like, you know, eventually that's the goal. The goal is to turn them into cartoons, and the goal is to have the merch dealing with like some stuffed animals. But right now, we had to get the literature out. And it's
Let
even
me
though
stop
like
you right there, because you get a point just the way he said literature. It sounded like your SAT score was higher than everybody's. Like you had the best verbal. I'm going to slow you down a bit, because we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
This is your first project, Fact, Fiction, and Feces.
Yeah, that was my first project.
Now the content in here is raw.
Yeah,
It's honest.
It
It's
is.
super raw. You're
He
going
said,
there.
I hope I inspire you,
Yeah.
entertain you, or disgust you.
Yeah, pretty much. Cause I mean, I'm talking about some taboo stuff. I'm really dealing with pain. Like when I write, it really is like no holds bar. I don't try to censor it. I don't try to make it sound pretty. It's not rated G content. You know, you might not want to read around the little ones. You know, that's why we got the stuff for the little
That's
ones.
what that contrast right there.
Yeah.
That's a whole different mind shift. We on the other episodes when you were here, we spoke about the first books.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to train your mind to be kid friendly. How do you go from being what would you describe this, D?
Raw.
But he got
Raw.
Kids. He got kids.
Yeah, I mean, plus like just the field we grew up in. Like, I mean, the field I was teaching for like almost 10 years. Like, that was the field that I was in. You know, straight out of college, 2003, up until 2009, and it's a lot of bumps and bruises. And I feel like after that happened, the next thing was just to get into writing. I didn't have it in my mind at first to write children's books. By nature, I feel like I am a poet. Like, my favorite poet is Mary Baraka. I love William Blake. But Mary Baraka was definitely my inspiration. And I was just like, the whole Harlem Renaissance, I became fascinated with it when I was in school. The Renaissance period, like reading about like the queens and the kings, and I had like a real deep passion for like Greek mythology and, you know, African mythology and stuff like that. So that was something that it helped me with my creative process, like learning about Hermes and learning about Kemet and just everything, you know. So it was just something that I wanted to really, really explore. Now with the kids books, that kind of like came along when I started to teach the younger ones, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then around that time we used to do Saturday after school detention. So I was one of the I always wanted, one thing about me, I always wanted the bad kids.
Yeah.
That nobody wanted. That was like, cause I took pride in just letting them know, like, I see where you coming from, you know. And I wanted to do something that was like inspirational, different, but fun. And I came up with the two things that I love. That's just the nature of writing, and that's noun and verb. They go hand in hand like rice and beans, you know. So when I was thinking about the characters, my son was my editor. Shout out to Langston Antoine Pierre,
There you go, right there.
my
You see him?
son.
See him up there on that screen? They go your son right there. Then there goes Raz Baraka, another one of your inspirations.
Word.
In there, we had. Shout out to young Langston right there.
Word. That was because I asked him, especially for the first one, like, how this look? He like, it looks nice, Dad. How this look? I don't like it, Dad.
Honesty.
So I had made him the principal. You know, and as far as the gear, I wanted for the first one, I wanted them to have wanted Verb to have like a nice little varsity jacket for the
Styling on him.
and then now got the nice little jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying? So like, that was all his creation, and I wanted now to have more of like a preppy look, and I wanted Verb to kind of have like a cool swag look. So
Are Noun and Verb, are they student athletes?
Nah, they just fly. They got superheroes. They out here trying to save the world.
So
and
you're trying to give that educated look some swagger. So not
exactly
the kids
like
think that it's corny to be
Yeah.
smart or to know,
There you
nouns
go.
and verbs.
There's nothing corny about learning, and to be a great educator, you have to be a great listener and a great learner, and that's with anything in life. Even like with just being a great man, what makes you a great man is not just failure, but also learning from others and learning other people's failure. And what you learn as you get older is that a lot of proverbs digest through failures. A lot of proverbs digest through experience. Because when you're young, you think you know it all, especially like in your 20s. You have a certain bravado about yourself because you just that young bull.
Yeah.
And then as you get into your 30s, certain realities hit. Like, damn, it may not happen as quick as I want to.
So let's get to you in high school, because I found out some information about you in high school.
Yeah,
Went to Columbia High, went to Irvington High.
yeah.
I didn't know this. I knew my man for all this time, over 10 years. What? I don't want to say the name wrong. So, they got the poetry readings at school and everything. T used to get busy with at the talent shows, killing with the rapping.
Yeah.
So, not only was he the best poet, they gave him a nickname. Was it Caramel Delight? Was that? What was the name? What they?
Caramel Wonder.
Caramel Wonder. Caramel Wonder.
Yeah,
That sounds like a nickname
yeah.
where you don't keep your clothes on.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Little chip, y'all don't know. Caramel Wonder.
Yeah, that kind of started off when I was part of Seton Hall Upward Bound, which was a great program every Saturday, and in the summer program. And this is around the time where like you're learning college skills and learning computer skills and learning just different things. It took a lot of inner city youth, and they brought them to colleges, and then they just taught them about,
They ain't teach them how to be Caramel Wonder. What did you do to make them girls like, ooh, Caramel Wonder? They was doing it. You was dropping the heat.
A fly young man. I'm still a fly young man.
Exactly. Check the
a
addicted
fly
on him. Check the
young
addicted on him. We
man,
see
feel
you.
me?
We see
Like,
you.
like when I was younger, like I said before, it goes back to that confidence. Like, I don't know, the ladies had a thing for me, and I had a thing for the ladies. And as you mature, you get older, still you get a little bit more selective on how you move. But back then it was just all about the show. It was all about, the attention. And it was all about, all eyes on you, and then I just love poetry. I didn't want to be a rapper because at the time everybody wanted to be a rapper. Everybody wanted to be like, into that or real tough. I was just into my writing.
That wasn't what everybody was doing. So what made you say, I'm going to lock in and I'm going to do this? The hardest thing is to be your own man.
Yeah.
To be your own person, especially in high school when everyone is, searching for themselves almost their whole life.
Yeah.
Now, but what you're doing, you found, this is my niche. This is my calling. This is what I want to do.
And then, like, also, when I was in high school, I was real inspired by, like, Donald Goines and Robert Beck. Used to read Pimp, like, I must have read Pimp like 100 times. I must have read Whoreson like 100 times. Like, I was just fascinated by the lingo. I was fascinated by the life. Not so much that I wanted to be a pimp, but it was just more so the creative writing. Mm-hmm. And then if you seen how much product these two masterminds put out, we talking about 10. Like, I got 5 books. That's light work. These fellas have a whole catalog, 10, 12, 13 books. And all of them have a different, like a different message, a different theme, a different look. And I was fascinated by that. And, I wanted to have, like, I always been fascinated with language. And, like, even, like, if you go somewhere, like, even, like, okay, if you go to D.C., they got a certain lingo. You go to Florida, they got a certain lingo. Mm-hmm. New York got a certain lingo. Mm-hmm. Jersey got a certain lingo. Mm-hmm. Certain people from, and then just certain people from certain cliques speak differently. Your mans might speak different than how he speaks. So it's like...
Our Zoes, let's just be clear.
Definitely.
I'm an unofficial
Haitian.
Zoe.
We're, shout out to all my Haitians
Shout out to all they
doing it. Shout out to all my Caribbean folks doing it. Shout out to all my black people doing it. Shout out to anybody that's doing something positive, my entrepreneurs, people that just are not just quick to just accept what's going on. People that's willing to take accountability for their failures and turn into their own chemist and find a way to just really master the art of chemistry. Because that's what it is about life. Like, regardless if you've been through trials and tribulations, regardless of your upbringing, regardless of your pain, your suffering, you got to find a way to turn it into alchemy. You have to find a way to become your own chemist.
Alchemy.
Water.
Alchemy.
I like that. That's what it means.
Because because alchemy, the alchemist in the village was the one that produced the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So alchemist, he's that the beats is his medicine. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But like once you practice alchemy, you learn how to turn. Some people think of it as magic, but it's not black magic, but it's definitely personal magic
And that
because
got to do with
it's
It's got to do with just mixing.
He made me think about
It's got to
Bruce
do with
Lee.
mixing.
Yeah.
When you're like water, you can
yeah.
change and adapt that.
It's very important, and also like you got to understand the didactics of life. The opposites.
Whoa, D.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The didactics.
The opposites, just like teaching a lesson through negative and positive situations. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel
Neurons, protons.
I feel all these things, I feel like by the time you start to really, because you could be a young man with an old soul. You know how like sometimes when you're young, they be like, yo, you got an old soul.
Do most men with the old souls and with the alchemy, once you said the water, did they usually start doing stuff like this when they was a kid? I don't know if you could see it. Did you see this picture right here? Because I know I felt like I was an old soul. Was you one of these old souls and one of the little bad kids jumping in someone's y'all done playing ball, you gonna run on the side?
I wasn't. You know what I was? I wasn't a bad kid, but I probably was a sneaky kid.
Did you drink the water from the hose?
All the time.
Did you drink it from the hose?
Yeah.
We ain't care about alkaline and alchemy and none of that. We was raw.
Or the bacteria. that
Or the
could've been in that
bacteria.
hose from sitting out
We
all
live.
summer.
We
We live.
But it tastes good.
It tastes good though.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
It is refreshing.
We
But then you
live.
get better in life.
Yes.
You know what better everything is. We're gonna switch it up a little bit because we're gonna go around. Because what y'all did, though, y'all ain't know he was a chef too. We got some chefs
So
in the building.
just to backtrack a little,
Yes.
alchemy is defined as the process of taking something ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary
Yes.
in a way that cannot be explained.
Like this
so it
show.
don't matter if it's water, wine, sand.
Ooh,
If you can take that and make it extraordinary, then that's alchemy.
that's
Like
what it is. I that.
this show. Like what you guys represent is alchemy. Because you got to think about it. Like this is something that wasn't seen years ago, and if it was, it wasn't as public. So just imagine when the world gets a whiff of what y'all doing. Like the whole world, not just the Jersey demographics or the East Coast demographics. You guys are performing alchemy, and we live in a world where everybody wants to make things microwavable. Things take time.
The microwave.
You know, one of my favorite artists. First of all, we chop it up all the time.
Yeah.
All the time and build. And one thing we all love, and is a common artist that we talk about. One is the Griselda family.
Yeah, I like them.
And Benny. And it takes time. This microwave world, it sucks. Everybody just wants to put out some BS, the feces,
Yeah.
and think they live or think they dope.
Yeah.
So he said, it's just overnight. Well, I spent 2,000 nights in the cell. Which night y'all talking about? They don't know all the nights
Oh man.
of putting in the work, all the nights, all the days, all the hard work
Yeah.
that you put in to get to the degree where you are now of putting out multiple projects.
Yeah.
They think it's overnight.
Yeah. And then like a lot of people that put in the work, they think it's instant gratification. It's not. But that's why ownership is important. Like I might not pop right now, but like 5-10 years, somebody might get a whiff of what I'm doing. And they might be like, you know what? We like what he's doing. We want to partner up with him. I don't owe nobody. Everything is in my name. And that's why it's so important for you to own the stuff that you do. Ownership is very, very important. You know? Like, a lot of people don't get that. You know, they quick to, like, sign a deal, you know, just to get that quick money. But, you know, a lot of times the ones that end up building it from the bottom, it becomes a lot more lucrative at the end, especially if you just a long distance runner. This ain't a sprint.
It's
you
a
know?
sprint, but people are in it for the instant gratification, and they don't really care. They don't really care about what is good work.
No.
What is good work?
And that's why, like, a lot of people, like, gravitated to Nipsey because he said it's a marathon. And that's what life is. The important thing is just to try your best to stay healthy, to enjoy the longevity, because it does get greater later.
When it comes to the health, like I said, you know, you definitely a chef. You make sure you eat right. I think a lot of us lately, you know, a lot of us, you know, when it comes to the new year, we don't want to look like certain people out here looking crazy. We want to make sure our body is not looking like him right here, looking like this Al Sharpton.
Yeah,
this one right here. So we got to make sure we working it right.
Yeah,
make sure we doing the right things.
Or if at one point you was that Al Sharpton, or at one point, like I know at one point I was kind of heavy set and I wasn't eating right. So like lately, I would have to say like the last time I ate meat, probably was like December 20th. And even though it's not long, but for me, you realize like food is a drug.
It is.
And I've been trying to like live more of a plant-based diet, and even step my quality of water up. Like I said, he got the Fiji water over there. Nothing against Poland Spring. I mean, I don't really rock with the Nestle water.
Y'all act like y'all didn't grow up off this water right here. Y'all grew up off the fountain in the.
Yeah, but I mean, our waters is tainted. Your water gotta have some type of
alkaline.
Yeah, and they gotta have
I get a point for that word.
Alkalinity.
Yeah, your water gotta be
right pH balance, right pH levels.
Yeah.
To get your mind right, to get your body right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like even like the quality of food you eat. Like
you eat good. Let's be clear.
I've been trying to.
That's
eat
Philippe
good.
right there next to that.
Because
that's Philippe right there.
I've been eating.
I've been seeing you. Stop playing with me.
We did Philippe for the book. Like me and my bros. Shout out to my bros.
Shout out to everybody at One Stop.
Shout out to all my bros, but my boy, shout out from One Step Ahead. My boy Weezy. My boy Ski. You know, we went to Philippe's for the book signing. We ate real good.
We ate real good.
And you know, I ate seafood and salad. I was craving that steak, but I couldn't do it. But it's like it goes from eating bad for so long, and like I just realized what it was doing to my body, and it was just breaking me down.
When it comes to the plant based, any of y'all be doing like the Impossible Burgers, the vegan?
I can't really do the burgers.
I've had them.
You had them?
I never had it.
I tried.
They're good.
I do Meatless Monday.
Meatless Monday.
Pause.
Yeah.
Meatless Mondays.
I try to eat like
a couple days a week with like no type of something. Start with Monday, but.
Do y'all ever be like, yo, this don't taste good? Like, yo, this is
no.
That's why I don't try the other stuff.
No, because
it's not. I know the
vegetables,
just regular vegetables.
Nah, because we've gotten
rice.
we've advanced. Well, people have advanced where they know how to cook that stuff and it tastes good. Like,
what about we talk about most of it should. Now we talking about you can get fooled by some of these the veggie and stuff type foods. So you went to Dunkin' Donuts the other day.
I went to Dunkin' Donuts the other day, right? And I had one of them Southwest breakfast sausage patties. Couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it because it just was like, I didn't know what the hell I was eating. I felt like I was just eating some type of man-made BS. So it's like, what did I do? I went and got me an apple. And it's like, sometimes that's the best thing to eat. Now, I'm not trying to act like I'm some guru type dude, but I just do notice that since I've changed my diet, I don't break out as much. my energy levels a little bit more. I mean, I got a lot going on with my body and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to like make sure I'm at optimum health and trying to add longevity
He
to
ain't
my.
talking about cable.
to my
Gorillas
life.
don't eat meat.
Gorillas
Bulls don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Blueberries and shit.
Yeah, look how they're built.
Yeah,
They'll rip your
the-
fucking arms out your socket. Like,
yeah. The strongest animals are vegetarians.
they don't eat meat.
Elephants.
Something.
That's good to know.
Omnivores, right?
Yeah.
He playing over here with the
Now,
omnivores.
I'm
Like
not
the
there
technical
yet.
terms.
Like I said, like I definitely eat my
Herbivore
fish.
Scientific phileas.
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. So, nah, but we just got to talk about the diets because, a lot of people, when it comes to New Year, new me, want to eat right. And we don't
Yeah.
find out till we're later because we start off being kids like this, drinking this type of water. We don't know what the best
Probably
thing.
lead all in that.
It's probably led all, but we weren't educated.
Yeah.
We don't know any better. We were making our Kool-Aid off of that. The biggest, quickest thing with the little short pack to get you going.
Yeah,
But-
then,
but
and
now
then
we
also
know
just,
more.
Just everything in moderation. Like how I used to get lit with the liquor. Oh my God, drink like a fish. I had to just chill. So now, if I do have a couple drinks, it hit me a little bit more because it's like I went so long. I don't drink as much as I do. You feel me? Especially like when I hit that Henny, like
In moderation.
So, yeah, everything in moderation.
I gotta ask y'all. I gotta ask y'all, and it's between us. Ain't nobody really watching. It's just us. Cause speaking of moderation, did we have to watch the Bust It Down challenge in moderation? Is that's what it's called to you? The Bust It Down?
Busted challenge?
The Bust It challenge? Did we watch that in moderation?
You
It just go full throttle? That's what we've been? Now you been watching the Bust It?
I seen a couple.
See a
Busted
couple?
Down. Yeah.
See a couple? Man, we was talking about, talking about women.
Oh,
We all talk about women.
yeah.
And shout out to the beautiful queen to the right, Soup. Make sure we
Word.
say that from the gate.
Shout out to Sue.
We were talking because in Fact, Fiction, and Feces, and we got Dead Roses, so many.
Yeah.
We talk about relationships.
Yeah.
And we talk about, the way we man up in relationships, and sometimes how we get fooled in relationships, and sometimes our weakness. Like Busted Challenge is our weakness, and how we might look at one woman a certain type of way, like, the Baduism. We talk about Badu all the time. And we don't think that a Badu is like maybe the girl on P-Valley. She might not be like that. But she has the same qualifications and does some of the same stuff. And then she will mentally get you by talking that, you need to eat soy plant-based food.
Yeah.
And get to you and get to your soul and then start running laps around you. Like it could be women like this who are busted down challenging, but they fully head wrapped. It might be a few of them out there.
But that's what
I don't know who it
that's
is.
what makes women such an enigma because they could do so much. Like they could have that sexuality, have that intelligence, and still be powerful.
Is she
know?
powerful right here? I would judge her in move. Y'all remember when Q was when he was stealing the records?
That's a lot of forehead.
Yo, it's a lot of fault, but that gold tooth. Does she have power, or we just going
I
straight
mean,
back
for
to
that
this?
era, probably
era?
because it was girls that had gold tooth.
A
Yeah,
little different.
Nah. Girls can rock gold teeth now and look fire.
yeah,
Because they
this
be
is
wearing,
true.
you just got to wear a grill, not a tooth.
Not a tooth.
Yeah.
Well, that's
There we
good, but
go.
they wear teeth jewelry too.
I think it depends on what you like.
Jewelry artist on there.
Y'all like that?
Your teeth
I
was
think
on
we
here.
like that.
She was on here.
She definitely did. But you got to watch out for certain energies,
Girl with a
and you
bottom-
got to stop just labeling
If you
somebody thinking they ain't cool.
If you got a bottom grill, just let me know. Like, just, hit the Beards N Baldheads IG, whatever.
That's your thing right now, too.
They cute.
Talk about it. Juaniqua Ross was her name. You remember?
What you say, bro? No.
Nah, Juaniqua
I
Ross.
don't
You
know
know
it's
what I'm
Brenda
saying?
Witherspoon.
You crazy. Now we talk about the reason why I'm switching it a little bit because it got a whole lot of topics I want to ask you. We're gonna have some poems we're gonna get to, and one of the things we as men we build with each other. We go through issues when it comes to women and when it comes to just your friends and building each other up, being each other's crutch and strength, and letting us know our experiences with stuff like that. You have some poems that are so honest and so raw. Euphoria is one of my favorites. I know we spoke about it at that time. It's one of the shortest ones.
Yeah.
I just want you to say that one real quick. Oh, I can get to it. I'm right here with it. Now, you know what I'm saying? This one, I think it's for every relationship, and I posted it the other night. I'm going to start it off with this
Turn
one.
your hymnals to page
Yo,
88.
with Euphoria says, it only worked because she accepted my ugliness, which made everything beautiful. We're living in a world with so many lies and not acceptance of the bad. We just want the car. He has a car. He has a this. He has a this and this. Stuff that could just diminish, get burnt down, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not what's in the heart. Or we only like this person because he's educated. Or like this person because he, whatever else thing may be. But everyone got a good side and a bad side.
Yes.
If you want to say good and bad. Everyone has different dimensions to them.
Yes.
How hard is it for any of y'all want to say, we got True Lies, that's his name. That name alone.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it mean, and we all can speak from relationships, to accept the ugliness? Especially because we got the mask on for so long when we start off in a relationship.
I think it starts with self. Like a lot of times, as men, and I've been guilty of this too, we take the pain of a woman and use it to our advantage. So you create the same monster that you're talking about. Like you might come across a woman who's been like scarred, and then all you trying to do is just be suave about how you keep a hold on her because you know she's scarred. And it could be vice versa. So I think, and then you as a man, if you've been scarred and you come across a woman that's scarred, I both need to find a way to make either that Band-Aid or put some ointment on it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it's hard dating. People fall into like different situations where you might have womanizing ways, and you might have a female who likes different dudes because like, yeah, he might have that bag, he might have that job, but he may not have that attention. So we try to find somebody that has everything, which is nearly impossible. But when you vibe with a person, when you connect with a person, it's priceless. And sometimes as men, we might look back and we might be like, damn, I thought I had something good. I can't believe I let that go. Now, is it the ego and the feeling that you don't have that no more, the possessiveness, or do you truly feel like you had something good? Because, you know, men are very territorial.
How y'all feel? I know he touched
Ego.
you. Ego?
Yeah.
Ego.
A lot of times, like, it might be a shorty you dealt with 3 years ago. Now, you like, wonder what she doing. Now, she might be happy with a new dude. Then, you know, you try to sneak a New Year's text. Or sometimes you might get that New Year's text. Happy New Year, just checking up on you, seeing how you doing. But you trying to angle away to see if that door's still open.
You think
Both
this right here
parties
could
have
work?
been guilty of that.
No one wants to be rejected.
Yeah.
Do you think this could work?
When it was, it's
R&B
always
fell
ego.
off because niggas don't grab air no more.
If we was grabbing more air, like him right here, would this
Mm.
work? Right here?
Nah,
Nah.
What's
Is A Soup, is it over for R&B dudes?
nah, R&B fire right now.
No, they fight. Well, he fight. You R&B?
I wish I could say.
Look, yo, you heard him just
God-
say you
God-
go to R&B.
God knew what he was doing when he ain't allowed me to get that talent.
You want to grab some man?
Yeah, man, I be there.
You want
Listen,
to grab some
I be
man?
sliding through the motherfucking rain
Ah!
with some bootcut jeans on. What you talking about?
I hear you.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's all about communication. And
Yeah.
if you're dating multiple people, if you're willing to have those type of communication with multiple people to kind of narrow down your choices of saying if you want to ultimately have one person that you're sharing that time, emotion, and communication with, is going to be a kind of a trial and error process, because you might have the conversation with one chick and she might check some boxes. This one chick might not check all the boxes. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're going to take the chick who might have the bomb, you know, but she don't check all the boxes. But
Yeah.
the chick who check all the boxes might not have the fire, but you know, she's respectable, she's legitimate. You know, you can take her around the family, and they don't look at you and be like, oh yeah, nah. Behind your back, they can be like, I think she's a thought, anything like that. So you got to narrow that down in communication.
I remember,
so.
not to cut you off, but I remember I was having
Straight up, D.
I was having a conversation with my moms, and she was like, You attracted to damaged women.
We spoke about that. We spoke about that.
I'm in love with broken girls. That's
She
my
was
shit.
like, you have, and I was like, is that a reflection of me? Like
It
it's like me picking a person who's been through some shit, a reflection of my crazy ass mind, because I know I ain't all the way, you know, like as a writer, you tap into different spirits.
Who's not damaged?
Well,
Exactly.
But
But
it's
it's-
when you bond off a shared trauma. That's the
That's the
could be the
scary.
dangerous thing.
Yeah, you know what?
Why?
You
So
said
you trying to
that
re-
is that
and
very
he
much
said-
so is
and that-
dangerous.
He said
Why, are
the
y'all
right
trying
word.
to reciprocate those feelings again, or are
Dangerous.
you trying to venture away from that?
What happens is
you're
what?
comfortable
with the vices.
Yeah.
because somebody relates to you,
Mm-hmm.
so you're comfortable with that person, so you accept them for who they are, and they accept you for who you are.
It's like it's a tight,
Yeah.
it's a thin line between logic and emotions, and a lot of times we don't do the most logical things because we're very emotional. And as a man, you gotta know when to cut that emotional shit out and be logical. And the same thing for a female. Now a lot of people be like, "Oh, females are more emotions," but I done came across some men that was pretty emotional, and some women that was pretty solid.
Men are more emotional, in my opinion.
I think so too, because you know why? Men take it harder when somebody has, like, when they women leave them. I feel like a woman could kind of like shape. All right, he did me dirty, whatever. Boom, on to the next. Men may front like that, but we be feeling it.
Well, because women are always being pursued. Men aren't always constantly being pursued.
Caramel Wonder was being pursued. Let's be clear.
I mean,
So, I
Lawrence
mean,
P-
so-
I mean, shit.
so-
But
Lawrence
that is
Pierre
real.
be being
That's real.
pursued, but it's like after a while, it's like, what do you want?
So boom.
How do you
You know?
decide who you're gonna have unprotected sex with?
That's true. You
Just
got a
do it.
poem for that one too. I think you do. What up?
I do have a poem for that.
Well,
Like, do you start off with like up here, and then
I'm gonna let you find that one. I'm gonna let you find that one.
You
Good,
just-
good
Then
one.
we're gonna
just
leave
do
that.
it.
We're gonna leave that
You
for
just do
for.
it?
Just do it.
Just-
We're gonna leave for the couples.
You know what I'm saying?
That's raw war.
Raw war.
She
Raw
she
war?
no longer wants me because I fucked her raw. She no longer loves me, and now our love is war. So it's like you might be with a chick, and you cheat on her with another chick. Now she pregnant. So now not only is it the betrayal about the infidelity, but you gave her something that was supposed to be just between us. So some people take unprotected sex very serious. It's not just about you having sex with the person, but you gave that person your energy. It's very, sex it's some powerful shit.
and
my-
as a disclaimer, we do advocate for
Safe sex.
Yes.
Yes,
So-
I was
definitely.
joking.
Definitely.
But you're
um,
right. There's power in that. There's
It's-
energy in that.
yeah.
Like, is it the release of? I'm using just technical terms.
Go
but I don't
ahead,
have
D.
to. Is
Get-
it
get-
the ejaculation inside a girl that
Endorphins.
yeah, is
Endorphins.
it-
Y'all both get points for both of
I
them
don't
right
know.
there.
Like it's
Endorphins,
funny
that's a good-
because
yeah.
you notice how chicks act, and sometimes a lot of dudes won't act the same way a chick act with that connection. Some
Yeah.
dudes might be like, "Up, I skeeted, I shot the club on my mount, I'm good. Let me go tell my boys." But this chick is now at another emotional level,
Yeah.
because you did that. Now the chicks connect differently on that.
And then saying on the flip side of that, if he finds somebody else is sleeping with her, now he tight. He want to literally shoot the club up.
That's
feel
why
me?
men are
'Cause-
more emotional.
Yeah, because like
We
I want to see the check-in because I'm going to hear about this sooner.
now we're going even if it's later on. They go with it, make
You
sure.
know, like,
hold up. Let's see.
conversation,
First of all,
I'm
shout
sweating.
out to everybody on the check-in. See what we got. Yo, shout out to Fatima. Shout out, man. Look, if y'all ain't watching Mommy's Keeping It Cute on Sunday, y'all bugging. Y'all need to make sure y'all watching that. Shout out to my boy Lou. Shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Uncle Mike. Shout out to Tim. He said if you can get more than 75% what you want in a person, you won. No one gets 100%
Yeah.
of what they want in a person. Men have to be real enough to themselves and say, I'm done with the chase. Shout out to Tim, and I was at Tim's wedding. And
So,
you
Tim, does that
still
mean
there.
it's a tie at that point? Because who wins that? You or the woman?
Well, that's the problem. You shouldn't be playing to win.
No, it's got to be a tie or a draw.
I like what
somewhere
he
along the
said
lines.
though.
You
Because
almost
I
win.
mean, is it? Are we? And it's about perspective. Because if you are really looking for someone to rock with, are we looking at it like it's a race, like he said, Or are we looking at it like from a spiritual standpoint, like I found someone that completes me? And a lot of shit sound corny, but it really be that. Like sometimes you could come across a person and she just don't get on your nerves at all.
Yeah, like,
and
I
you
just wanna
like,
be around you.
Shout out to those ladies who are
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, and then there's some people you rock with her, but she just annoying. You need your little time out. Like, you know, she talk too much, or like she just be doing too much, or she always on her phone. But you know, you try to rock
That's
with
the
her.
big one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. People are so caught up into other people's lives that they don't know who they are anymore. So you don't even know if the person that you dating is the person that you dating. Everybody out here, I call it the Cardi B diet.
Mm.
I call it the Love and Hip Hop diet.
Break that
I
one
call
down.
I mean, pretty much
That's
like
that Ratchet TV shit.
everybody want to be a superstar, not understanding that you already born a star. So it's like you don't have to be like this person. And a lot
Say
of
that
it,
one more time, because
everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be a superstar, not knowing that you are born a star. And the camera always makes it look good, but some of the prettiest people are the ugliest. And that's fact, though. That's 100% fact, though. So it's like, you know, when you younger, you definitely might just go for the show that got the fatty, you know, nice rack. She look good, smell good. I mean, she got to smell good. Hygiene is definitely important. But
Definitely.
what I'm trying to say is, like, you'll go for the aesthetics, you know what I'm saying, the beauty of a woman. Not knowing, like, that woman that probably could teach you about stocks, that'll probably tell you about yourself. Some of the best relationships that I fucked up was from people really telling me about myself.
Before
And that's what we was talking
So
about. We was
boom.
talking about accountability.
So accountability. Talking to you about yourself.
Account-
Before we know each other, before you go, when you own yourself, when you're accountable for how you really are and accept it. Sometimes somebody could tell you a truth about you. If you know it already, you good. Like, I know me. But sometimes in relationships, we don't want to be the bad guy. We
But
don't
you
want,
can know it and still not want to hear it.
Still
and
not
accept
wanna hear
and
it.
Still
Yeah.
get tight about it.
But when you own it, and not meaning insults, when you just, because everyone has the plus minuses and goals, and we might not be all the way 100% there yet. When you own yourself, it's really not too much somebody could say to you. But sometimes as men, we don't want to be the bad guy. And just flip it a little bit. One person, I love the way they brain worked, and they owned being the bad guy. When we were young, we didn't like the bad guy. We liked the good guy. But why were we so entertained about the bad guy? Because we were entertained by the
Because
truth.
they can pop that stuff and get
So,
away with
so
it.
this person right here, we got Bobby the Brain Heenan. What you know about Bobby the Brain Heenan? You know a little bit about wrestling growing up.
Yeah.
Did you see this one right here with the Bobby the Brain? So
I'm a legend in this sport.
I'm a legend.
If you don't believe me, ask me.
And there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. You got to be a confident
Bobby
You
dude.
have to be.
Yo, if you're not confident, you're going to be under that rock waiting like, yo, it's going to happen. It's going to watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
But they hate the
You're going to be
confident
a
guy.
watching ass motherfucker.
They hate
you
the
ain't never
confident
gonna
guy.
be a doer. You know, you gotta accept negativity as far as people counting you out. I remember, like, people, why you writing a book? You don't make no money off that. You's a broke nigga. You this, you that. People will try to disrespect you because you may not be financially in a certain state. And as a man, don't let that shit break you down. Use that shit as jet fuel. And pardon my French, but fuck that. Yeah, don't let that shit break you down because people will try to disrespect you because you're not financially in a certain place. But that doesn't mean that you can't get there.
They don't know what's in your brain. They don't know what you
man.
thinking. They don't know your
Nah,
plan.
man.
They don't know how you
Nah,
cooking
come
up.
on, man.
They have no
And-
idea.
Don't fall victim to people spewing negativity towards you. Use it to your advantage. You know, that don't mean like wish death upon a person. That don't mean ridicule a person because they ridiculing you. Just take it all in and turn it into jet fuel. And that's what you gotta do. It's been like a lot of times where people was like, why you wanna do it? Why you wanna write a book on Basquiat's? For what? Why you wanna write a children's book? For what? Because that's what I wanna do, because that's where my heart is at. And I encourage anyone that wants to write or whatever it is that you want to do, regardless if you're young or you're an older person, if that's your mission, complete it. Complete it.
And people usually make money doing stuff they like. Like that's the people that like kind of get rich. Like
Yeah.
See, when you started with the photography, your very first one,
I was ass.
now you're getting better and better and
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you're getting paid
Yeah.
with something you love doing. You do it on your own.
yeah.
You know, it's when you love doing it, it shows. The art of doing it, it shows.
Yeah, even when I'm in the rap, like you can tell when I'm into something because
Mm-hmm.
then, like when I'm into it, I'm into it. When I'm not, I'm not. Like, but like when I'm into it, like I'm doing that shit every day.
Yeah. And the important thing too is the network.
Absolutely.
Networking is very important. Just the world is bigger than Essex County. The world is bigger than Jersey. So it's like you want to get out there and branch out. Like I want to branch out with people from all over. You know, I want to write. I want to have my books in different languages. You know, traveling is important. Don't be pigeonholed into thinking that you just caught up in this, because 9 times out of 10, the people that do the most hating is the people that grew up with you. The people that do the most hating is the people that's from your hood.
Let's stop right there. So now, access to getting to you for all of us. I know I had to stop certain access because when people are too comfortable around you, you get the slick talk, the disrespect come out their mouth.
Yeah.
They feel like they could do what you do. They feel like you should be doing what's in their brain. You should be doing it.
Too
And sometimes
accessible.
I limit a lot of conversations with people.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because I don't need to hear everybody's opinion. And sometimes I'll be having to go in my space, in my creative zone. Did you go running 15 miles sometimes, or 10 miles, till you go work out? And we're people, personable people, but
I'm not
as
that
we got,
person.
you're not. As we got, but you got a crew. You got a crew. And sometimes you even got to slim down with your own personal crew.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take it, like, when you saw yourself getting to a certain level in life, certain age, we're like, yo, I got to get away from these people.
I would have to say for me,
Absolutely.
it was like
Because they stopping your creativity. They stopping your focus.
When I started going through my own like serious trials and tribulations, and then just kind of understanding like you in this for yourself, as far as like you got to get your mind right. You could tell you already know. I was like a real like into throwing parties and being like the most popular dude, and now I'm such like a introvert. The same crew I chilled with 10 years ago is the same people I rock with, because like, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm not willing to network with new people, but I'm cool with the nucleus that I got. But as far as like wanting to be the most popular dude and wanting to be in every circle, every party, and I remember like when
It's
waspoppin.net was out,
It's vanity,
and trying to
man.
like, you know, jump in front of the camera and hold the bottles and flash the money, or just be out partying everywhere, wanting to be seen is like, I don't know, like
that's a
right
drug,
now.
man.
It's a drug, man.
Attention is a drug.
I want to get to a few of these people on the check, and shout out to everybody on the check, and please share, because they loving the conversation right now. Shout out to Tim. He's
It don't change nothing either.
and Merv. He said, "Love yourself." Shout out my boy TP. And humble yourself. He said, porn stars, actors, doctors, stockbrokers get paid doing things they love. So why can't you get paid for doing things you love? Tim, thank you, TP. Then you got Tim saying, never let people put their fears or failures onto you. That's so real right there.
Very
Like,
important.
you got to stay away from those people. You can't do it. What are
Yeah.
you doing? You're bugging. How do you, especially when you got, it be the closest person to you.
That's what I'm saying.
It be the closest person
That's
to
what I'm
you.
saying.
That's
what
why
I'm
you got to
saying.
just tuck everything.
And you
Well,
know,
it's because
no,
people know you.
yeah, and you know what? Don't let everybody know what you doing. Sometimes you got to keep your plans private. I got this one line I be saying. Sometimes you got to play possum to blossom. Sometimes you got to play dead, not let people know what's going on too much, and then just be like, I like to say, people, I wrote a book, as opposed to I'm writing a book. Because like the negative energy be real. A lot of people
Absolutely.
try to project their spirits onto you. I do believe in spirits. I do believe in negative energy. I don't think that's just a cliche. I think there's people out here that really want to see you fail. The same way I believe there's people out here that really want to see you win. So it's all about what strength that you allow to dictate how you move.
On Friday, I think it was, I believe it was Friday. You had a pop-up shop, and that pop-up shop, like he hits me. He didn't plan nothing.
Nah, that was same day.
Same day, and the people that came through was pretty much of a nucleus of people that believe in you. How did that feel? Because
that made me feel so. That made me feel so good because it was the night after we had did the we was at Philippe's, and the next day I just woke up, and I called my bro, who has a shop, One Step Ahead, 1244 Springfield Avenue, for the latest apparel. Another person too I want to shout out, Mr. Addicted Drew.
I see you right there.
This is his clothing line. All black male entrepreneurs.
Shout out to everybody in that when we were there.
Yeah,
it was so much love.
And you know what's so crazy? More men bought books than females. Now you would think it's a children's book, it's gonna be a whole bunch of single mothers or even just women out there. Mostly everybody that bought books was males for their kids or their nephews or their nieces or their stepkids, and it just goes to show you, like, don't believe the projection that black men don't read. Don't believe the hype that black men don't take care of their kids. Don't believe the hype that we just out here doing the most negative things. And I mean, like, and they didn't just buy one book.
Buying two. It's a 2-part series. I bought two, and so many
man.
people bought two. Let me get both of them. Let me get both of them. Let me get it for the kids.
I really sold out. Like, I'm getting my next bunch of Be Here by next week. I really sold out. And, like, I'm like, damn. I really sold out.
That's good money.
And that was a good feeling. You feel me? It wasn't so much about the money I made because the money goes right back into the hustle. So everything I made went back to buy more books.
Get the next batch.
And then once I make that, it's going to go right back into the grind. And then it's going to be to buy more books. But I want to hit Philly. I want to hit Cali. I want to hit Florida. I want to get these things in schools. I want this to be a part of curriculums. I'm not just thinking about giving this to people. I want you to go to school. I want people to be in the 2nd, 3rd grade reading my books. I want people that are ESL kids, people that just came from other countries that their English may not, because a lot of ways that they teach people that can't speak English well is through poetry and children's books. So I want them to hear about when I put up The Adventures of Now and the Verb Explore Space, they'll know how to say Mars and Uranus and speak English if they don't know how to speak English. Or when the youngins that don't really know too much about science, this is deeper than just trying to make a couple dollars. This is really about saving our youth. So, yeah, I'm not in the classroom, but I'm still teaching. You know, and I mean, that's really what it's about.
That's exactly what it's about, right?
And it's full steam until my heart collapse. Simple as
Let's get that one
that.
more time. Ain't nothing collapsing over here. We here, we living, and your work's gonna live forever.
Yeah,
That's the beauty of it. And you write as if you want your work to live
Shout out
forever.
I just want to shout out my illustrator. I apologize.
Oh, she was so dope. Yes.
Deja Dameron, all I did was tell her what I want. I said, I want Now to be a fox. I want Verb to be a cheetah. And then she just did it. I said, I want Verb to have this. I want Now that. I mean, but the hardest part of writing anything is the editing process. Because, you know, it was a lot of new science facts that happened this past year as far as how many moons Uranus had. We all know that Pluto's not a planet
So
anymore.
volume 2. First of all, what are the themes with both of them? Because you're talking about how you got the...
Okay, the first one, the Adventures of Now and the Verb is exploration. They're basically they got 2 kids that's cutting up in school, and they teaching them the importance of education in the library. So this whole book is based on a library visit and the importance of the library. The second one is just about learning about space for the kids. So I would say this one is geared more towards 1st to 3rd grade, and this would be geared from like kindergarten to 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just I'll probably do one more, but like the main one I'm working on right now is Professor, and that's like my first novel, which is, it is so hard to write a novel because what I'm struggling with is first person and third person, and that goes back to like, I like those reading for dummies, like grammar for dummies. That
Yeah.
I believe whoever came up with that was such a genius, because like it really does break down on how to, you know, get your revisions together. And the best way to people be like, yo, how do I write a book? Write. That's how you write a book.
That's simple.
You start off by writing. Don't say I'm going to write a book. Don't, like, just write. And then, like I said, the hardest process is the editing process, because they will can you if it's misspelled. They will can you if it's not correct.
The
grammatical errors, oh my God, they would be like, what is this?
What
can't
about
spell.
the originality and plagiarism? Like, we spoke about that earlier. Everything is yours. How do you feel if someone like is coming out with a book and it's not even their real thoughts or not even their
then
work?
You need to have a bibliography. If you're gonna use somebody else's work, give credit to it. I'm real big on that because I write. But you know, if you are a person that learn from other people and you have a book and you need to fact check, have a bibliography. Like both of my children's books, they rhyme. You know, so I wanted to do it where I've learned that through rhyming and repetition, kids process things a little quicker. Absolutely. So the whole book is a rhyming book, you know, and to also have huge, big pictures. And now I'm giving up game.
Don't give them too much.
Not giving up too much, but one thing about kids, they're susceptible to animals with big features, big eyes, big hands, big facial features. So, like, I wanted to bring it back. So if you're reading to, like, your newborn, they'll start grabbing it. Like, oh, that's why I want to get the merch together. And that's why it's important to get your bread up. Invest in your stuff. Don't have a flip and then go partying with it. Don't have a flip and spend it on the shorty. Don't have a flip and go get fresh. You flip, you put it right back into the hustle. That's what you do. And that's how you bubble. That's how you get it together. And don't just, and be open to other people's opinion. But I knew to write a children's book.
But how hard is that? Stop you right there. To be open to their opinion?
It all depends.
Does it depend on who? Because you don't want everyone's opinion. It cares about a specific person's opinion.
It don't matter. You going to get everyone's opinion though.
I wrote a children's book.
Prior to dropping.
I wrote a children's book, so who opinions did I ask? Children's.
Okay.
My nieces and nephews. What you think it is? What you think? I didn't ask no adult. I don't want an adult perspective on a children's book. I don't want a 50-year-old to give me their perspective on a children's book. But if I'm writing literature, that's a different story. So to learn from the greats, you got to read from the greats.
Who are some of the greats?
I got one for you, Mary Baraka. I want to read this poem that I did a tribute for him on Facts, Fiction, and Feces. Like I said, that's definitely one of my favorite poets. And, you know, he's from North.
That's whose father? Let's be clear.
That's Ras Baraka's father. And what's so crazy is, like, I remember when I was a youngin', I used to sneak out because my mom used to work late. She not watching, but she used to work late, get home like around 11, 12 o'clock. And Ras Baraka used to have these poetry readings downtown. Like, he been a part of the movement. Like, he not no fraud. Like, he out here. So I remember I would go to these open mics, and then another dude I was like into, like Saul Williams. He was another cat that was type ill. You know, so like these are the people that I study. But Amiri, like I said, he was part of that movement.
Okay, let's go.
So this is called The Only Prophet in the Room, Amiri Baraka tribute. Amiri Baraka, spirit of Shaka, drenched in black mantras, reinventing the powers of commerce, reshaping life's opera. Wherever poverty was a crime, you worked to acquit. The powers above inflicted the grip. No fake prophet talking that black power shit. No jive talk, just live talk. You made minds walk. You moonwalked. The only prophet in the room walking on moons, a leader of proverbs leading poetry platoons, washing black hearts in blue lagoons, telling the city of bricks you'll be home soon. Spies may use lens that zoom, drones, even balloons, but they'll just find the rhetoric of upliftment as the world witnessed the powers of your linguistics. Defying lyrics, defining spirits, the revolution will not be televised. It will be revised. It will be prescribed. Take your pills every Sunday. Monday and B flat, birth my $2 Tuesdays. Writing poetry on napkins, reading your work on groove days. Babylon revisited. Let's catch a cab down Elizabeth Ave and talk Malcolm and Marx as I grab a bag. You built brick cities, the prophet of New Ark, the New Ark prophet that spread poetic gospels from ghettos to colleges. Challenging cowards from Rutgers to Howard, you deserve the highest accomplishments. Not to mention playwrights and civil rights where whites never played right. Well, some brown men too. The only prophet in the room with the mind times two. Somebody blew up America as the small crowds grew. Somebody called the prophet, please call him now. Only he can show us how to swim, because we damn sure about to drown. So that's the only prophet in the room. You know.
We gonna hold up. I gotta turn this right back up with the claps. My fault for that right there.
Word.
Dope. Give it one more time. One more time. We got it. That's L right there. That's L right there. What got you just want to dedicate to him so much?
Paying tribute. I have a fascination with paying tribute to people that passed away and people that set legacies, because a lot of times what's fucked up about this whole shit is people only like praise you when you dead. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you're dead, that's when like, oh my God, he was so nice. Or like, you know, like everybody talking about the goodness. People find beauty in death. Mm-hmm. That's why when I wrote Frankenstein's Bride, that was the whole thing about relationships. Like how okay. All right, this particular piece is called Frankenstein's Bride, and I get to like the meaning of it after I finish reading it. Frankenstein's Bride. You turn that music down just a little bit. A dead woman walking. She wore white gowns to functions. Her kisses was of morbid seduction. Even in death, we find the power of breath. Loneliness kept Frankenstein depressed. He was an intelligent brute with features grotesque. His creator played Jesus. His creator left him speechless. His solitude turned to grievance. He yearned for love, the only cure for all diseases. Constructing a mate was only right. The dead are full of life. Subjected to decrepit nights, brainwashed searching for Phoenix, him and his bride formed an allegiance. Bodies created from several corpses. Each fragment made them whole. They made love back to life, like soul to soul. Their scars told stories of different worlds. She made him whole. She made him supernatural. Their reality was factual. She became one with his grief. Her beauty so gray, they made love for days. They stared at the flowers as their corpses lay. They were married in the month of May. No ceremony, no holy matrimony, no reception hall full of phonies, no emotions other than love and commitment. Their existence was man's witness. Even in death, love existed. Frankenstein's Bride proved that loyalty rules the night. Monsters against the world, they felt no fright. Two freaks that stayed away from the public eye. They had no concept of death. They felt alive. She is enchanting, the meaning of eternity. An uncanny world is filled with the ugliness of uncertainty. I saw simplicity of a walking miracle, a drop-dead beauty. She is a scientific misfit with imprints to make eyes squint. Her soul showed no resistance, just glamour from a distance. Her symmetry wasn't a misprint, a delicacy so offensive. Her mate assisted in her existence. Love was their assistant, a permanent persistence of a barren bond so magnificent. So basically, that's like on some Pac shit, like me and you against the world. You know, some people they'd be like, how they end up together, or like they are. But when you in bliss with like finding that person that matches your chi, matches your energy, it is you against. It does feel like it's you against the world. So it was like when I wrote Frankenstein's Bride, it's like that's what it represents. It represents a relationship where like everybody might be against what you got going on, everybody might doubt what you got going on, but the connection is so real that it could turn death into life. You know, and I mean that's why I wrote that.
It's L right there. Thank you, man. We got some people on the check-in. They love him. They love him. And what's that from?
Oh, that's from Dead Roses. Available on Amazon. The Ghost of Basquiat's available on Amazon. Facts, Fiction, and Feces available on Amazon. And once again, you know, my Instagram is lawpublishing.com. All these books was written. 2016 was Facts, Fiction, and Feces. The Ghost of Basquiat's was 2017, and Dead Roses was 2018. And Dead Roses was just a memoir, love poems about just love. Just some people have a love of food, some people have a love for money, some people have a love for evil stuff, some people got a love for good stuff. It's just dealing with love in general. Mm-hmm. But it's not always a pretty emotion. It's not always a pretty thing.
Not at all.
So I'm dealing with all facets of that, you know? And, yeah.
We got some people on the check-in. They want to give a shout-out to them. Yo, peace to my big bro Crush right there, one of the illest barbers. He said, we are controlling our own narrative. This is from Tim right here. So we change those stereotypes they keep putting out on us. Keep writing, keep doing your thing, bro. And where can I find the books? He just shouted it out. And please let another person know I'm all into supporting Black-owned businesses. And
Word.
Tim, please give me some. He got the best cheesecake cupcakes on earth right there. You got Fatima from Mommy's Keeping It Cute said, talk that talk. It's child psychological aspect to children's books. Definitely. You got the Flies Guy on Earth said, drops mics in the collection plate. Yes, because that boy good right there. In the Scientific Misfit, man, they are loving you.
Appreciate you.
I got,
Amazon. I'll wait till
let's get that out. They on here. They on here for you. They on here for you. They loving it. They loving it. Man, we start off a little bit later today. We're gonna close up in a second. We got any other one that we want to drop just for the people to know?
Shoot. Let me see if I can find something that's...
Soup said, come with that heat, because, look, it's running over time.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying.
Let me see. Let me...
Well, if we got some more heat right there. Yo, while he's getting that, do y'all think he could beat this one right here if it was a versus?
Oh, De La Ghetto?
Y'all think Rafael De La Ghetto? Y'all think y'all...
The clock is ticking for you because the love you said you give came up way past due.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean,
I think he can.
All right. Well, this is what this right here. I was in a crazy. I don't think I was in a crazy zone, but I was in a crazy zone. So it's called Psychopath.
Okay.
I don't remember if I read it here. I think I did before, but it
they
doesn't
can hear it
even
again
matter.
because women are still crazy, except Sue. They're still crazy. Is that right, Sue? Except Sue, they're still crazy out here. Psychopath is not going out of style.
Yeah, it's really about, you know, me. It's really just psychopath. I took the psychopath. I took a psychobath. I got a psycho's laugh. I got a psycho's wrath. I was born in a psycho lab with a psycho dad and a psychopath, eating steamed cooked crabs out the ShopRite bag. That was my EBT swag. I was doing psycho bad. It drove me psycho mad. We all got a psycho past or psycho present, psycho futures for ancient lessons not manifested. Craniums are congested with false selves and illusions. So many prognosis, diagnosis, terms that claim they know it, suggestions and reflections of mental infections, bipolar confections, antisocial selections, silent wars with word weapons, standing tall against all proposals. The pain is coastal. Sociopaths will learn you, confuse and console you, lead you down a pathway of psychos. Damaged souls with eyes closed, damaged goods with minds closed, damaged shoes, where do I go? Alcohol for winos, pills for anxiety, always feeling like the world is lying to me. Depression is heavyweight on our biology, but it's not genetic. It's digestion of misplaced philosophy. The remnants of pain poisoning our psychology. I got psycho class. I got psycho ass. She was psycho bad. The dementia took my memories and threw them in the trash. I am psycho mad. There is no psycho fad. I left the psycho tab. The chemicals affected my attention. Obsessive and compulsive, I lost my mind to aggression. My rage explosive, but when I write, it goes unnoticed. I am impulsive. My schizophrenia makes me lose focus. Post-traumatic stress makes me feel less shell-shocked and bedrocked. Medication can't make my hell stop. I'm not crazy. Stop saying that shit around my babies. My panic disorders are out of order. A manic depressive. Happiness is selective. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. So cuddle your blessings.
Give it up one time for that. Woo! We needed that for everybody with the mental health. Now, some of them just crazy. Yeah. Some of y'all just crazy. Y'all been needing your help long time ago.
Or some of us just be going through some crazy shit.
Yeah, you right about that.
Some people be traumatized from shotgun wounds. Some people be traumatized from having parents that was drug fiends or all that. Like,
that's real.
Yo, man, you gotta just like cuddle your blessings.
Word. Cuddle your blessings before we.
Saying?
That's real. Explain that for the people that don't know when you mean cuddle your blessings.
Cuddle your blessings is like, yo, man, a lot of people out here, they be so focused on what they don't got, they don't understand that life really is your health, is really your wealth. As long as you're able to wake up every day and get to it, you're going to get to it. What determines a man is his drive. Are you driven or you just don't want to start the motor? I'm driven, baby.
Like, hand that
That's
right
it.
there. I got one last thing. You're absolutely driven. What's keeping your drive?
I mean, it's cliche to say my son, but just my passion to live. I love life. I love nature. I watch a lot of what you call it, like nature shows and like Animal Kingdom and Animal Planet, and I want to travel. It's so much that I like my drive to just learn and do more. I want to write. I feel like I'm on to something, and this is me. And right now it's only 5 books, but by the time I'm 45, I want to have 10 in the clip at least, and dealing with all different myriads of life. I want, the next thing right now besides the writing is really turning these children books into cartoons. I see these new cartoons, they kind of like weird. We grew up in an era where it was like, reading Rainbow, Conjunction Junction. Like, I want to bring that spirit back. I want to bring that vibe back. And I do believe, like, I could be one of the pioneers to do it, or at least set that trend.
You will be, and you are. And you're doing it now. It ain't what you want to be, what you trying to do. You're doing it right now. We salute you. Before we end it up, like, man, we could keep going. We could keep going. Man, one last time, where can they get all the books? Where can they find you?
Okay, you can get all the books on Amazon, and you can find me once again on Instagram, Law Publishing, Law_Publishing. I mean, I would love to own my own library one day. Like, that's one of my goals too. But right now, until then, is Law_Publishing. And, just pay attention. There's more to come. Definitely.
Definitely more to come. Definitely more to come. You're going to be on the show more and more. Make sure y'all follow him. We're going to have it all on the IG. Make sure y'all please share. Shout out to everybody one last time. He said, whenever you need to drop more, thanks to him. Shout out to all my barbers. Shout out to all my stylists. And this one last quote, and it's from Benny. And I want any of y'all just to answer. It's the last. So, my loyalty is as good as any favor I could lend you. That's when I feel about y'all 3 guys. The loyalty is bigger than money. It's bigger than anything. I appreciate you. Let me say, I tell my guys all the time, but I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate
for
you
just
too,
being there for so many points in my life with the realness. I absolutely salute you. I gotta say it right there so your mama can see it later. You are a genius, absolute genius. We got the books. D gonna be hitting him like, yo, you read this one out? I know Cousin D gonna hit me with that. I know he gonna do it. I know he gonna do it, man. Thank you one more time. You want to shout out anybody before we close it up and take this picture?
I just want to shout out to everyone out there that's trying to do something positive. I want to shout out once again my son. I love you so much. My family, my moms, my brother. You know, just everyone that's on the state of positivity, and stay loyal to your grind. Like we talk about loyalty a lot. Stay loyal to your grind, stay loyal to your mission, and don't be swayed by negative energy. Use it as jet fuel. Anybody coming at you with that negative shit, use it to your advantage. And I'm telling you, it will do wonders for you because the pain is real, but you gotta learn how to turn that pain into pleasure. And I'm not talking sexually. You feel me though?
Thank you. Shout out to my barber, shout out to my stylist. We are Beards and Baldheads. Make sure you share this. Make sure you tell a friend. See y'all next week. One.
Talk nice. I'm on the first class flight.